All right.
Yeah.
Good.
We're here to talk about Wild Streets, the festival of play.
Shall we talk about ourselves first and then what we are together?
Yeah.
Sure.
Go for it.
Sure. So I'm Matthew. I mostly make video games and I guess do sort of game-themed events or video game-themed events. Well, that's what I do when I'm not with these people.
These people. Yeah. I'm Toby. Originally was interested in board game design and physical, games with lots of nice bits. And then starting to explore real-world kind of larger group social games. And also started a business, the Open Fort, which is around using games and play in business environments, and getting more people, kind of sneakily getting more people playing games. Yeah, it's me.
I'm Bronwyn, and my background is from more of an arts background, so theatre and arts events, so that's where I come to the kind of game side of things from just enjoying experiences that people can go to. Yeah.
Cool.
And we kind of stumbled across each other, well, a little while ago now, eh? What, a couple of years ago, almost?
Yeah. I think I went to work for a company in London called Hide and Seek, who used to run similar types of events, and I thought there must be people in New Zealand who are interested in this, and just started Googling, and I think found Matthew through that, and then you guys found each other somehow.
Yeah, and
Scribble.
yeah, through Scribble and the game dev meetup too.
Right.
Because I don't think you remember. I remember. So Matt and I started because I knew that Matt was interested in doing outdoor stuff, and I was in London as well, sort of newly returned to New Zealand, and trying to find people who are interested in doing sort of big real world stuff, and then we decided, just meeting up and ruminating about what stuff that we could put together.
Yeah.
And out of that came the Wild Streets Festival. Yeah. So
That happened a couple of weekends ago.
Yep.
And you guys have been involved in organizing it and stuff, so what is it all about?
I think it had a couple of aims. One was to just provide a way of playing games for people in Auckland in a way that they might not be used to. So games outside and maybe with strangers, and just a way to interact with their environment in a different way. And also part of it was about building up a community of game makers and designers and people who are interested in that style of playing games as well, and provide a kind of focus for them as well.
How did you guys go about actually being able to use that space? Did you contact the council, or how was that organized? It's a pretty nice strip of Silo Park that kind of falls in between the cracks of not being any particular usable.
So I know one of the placemaking managers down at Auckland Waterfront from other pieces of work, and so I contacted her, and she's really supportive of different ways of using the space down there, and they're really flexible and really excited about different ways of using their space, so just went from there, really.
yeah, originally we were exploring using Silo Park as a space. It's quite well known. I think we all knew it quite well. When they said, "Oh, no, actually, something else is happening there," but there's this little space just around the corner,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, let's take a real one at Silo Park, but we'll go look at this space anyway." But then when we came across it, it was just perfect for what we wanted to do. and the space itself lent itself to different types of games that we could run, and it was inspiring for us for what we could actually do there. So it was it's quite lucky actually that we weren't inside the park.
Yeah, because I imagine it'd be much harder to have like a big sort of everybody just goes out and forgets about the things they're supposed to do, or like too much of a space to walk across. And
we wanted to keep it quite contained, so it wasn't too spread out.
So how many games have you been running on that day?
Wow, I would guess 6. Is that correct?
Games?
How many different games?
Oh, I think we had
No, we had
13.
More than
yes.
that? Wow.
We had 7 designers and 13 games, I think. Yeah. So ranging from quite small, simple ones. There's one, there was just chalk drawn on the sidewalk, through to big. I think a couple of games could play up to about 30 players each. So and some with lots of props and things. So a big range of stuff which we wanted to have. We wanted to have something that people could jump into at any time. So if people wandered along and there were already games running, there's always something that people could join in on. So Matt's game was really good for that, with the autograph hunters.
Yeah, so I did a game where the players become autograph hunters and have to get autographs from these 4 celebrities who were like actors hiding around the park.
Okay.
So we gave them a guidebook that talked about the celebrities, how to identify them, and also in most cases they were quite picky about who they give autographs to. So you had to lie about who you were and pretend to be a certain kind of person, like one of their fans, to actually get the autograph. And that was a game that you could just walk up to at any point and start playing. Whereas we also had a lot of games that had a strict start time, especially the game that ran on a tram, where you...
Oh, you guys did the tram? Because I
Yes.
remember going to one of the design meetings and
Yeah, so that was a woman called Leonie Reynolds who designed a game that could be played on a tram, and that was quite fun because it happened just along the regular tram timetable as well. So it happened as people were doing real sightseeing in the tram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the fun things, being able to play games amongst the audience or amongst the public that didn't necessarily know that there was a game being played around them. In that case, it was a spy game, so it fit quite well. So amongst a tram, full of normal just passengers, there are these players as spies going around. So so that's quite fun, being able to. I suppose that's one of the styles of games, is games that can run in public spaces, in games where as a player you might not necessarily know who the other players are, which creates interesting engagement with just passers-by and random public people.
Yeah, so there was a lot of kids as well as adults. Like, what's the mix of participants was like?
Yeah, there were a lot of kids. We went through a few sort of evolutions of what we wanted the day to be, but we knew, and we kind of wanted to be open to as many different types of people as possible, and to be open to kids and families and adults. And it was a bit of a testing ground too, this first one, to sort of see who'd turn up and where the interest was. So so lots of kids, which is great, and it was a beautiful day, so it was perfect. But also kids with their parents and their families, and so having games that weren't just for kids and they weren't just for adults, but where kids could play with their parents.
Yeah, a lot of our games, we did have some children come to some of our playtests, but a lot of our games were mainly tested on adults.
Yes.
And either broke down or were just really exhausting to run with children.
Yeah.
Did you test the horse riding game on
Yes,
adults as well?
that's
Because I saw
brilliant.
that being played by a crowd of crazy children.
Yeah.
And
I'd played that one before with a group of children, so I knew that as soon as
They put the heads
they
on.
put their heads on there.
That's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. But actually, that's part of why it's fun, because it's quite chaotic and you can't control people who can't see where they're going.
Can you just
Really.
go over the rules for us?
So basically, the game is I made 5 big horse heads out of cardboard. So you put them on your head and you can't see where you are because you're blind as soon as you put the horse head on. So then you have a jockey that controls you by means of a bridle, which is just a long piece of elastic around the waist of the horse. And then you're just racing like a horse race, but you've got a few obstacles along the way. So, of course, people always want to win a race as soon as it's set up as a race. People are desperate to try and get there first. But when you can't see, it makes things a lot more difficult. And you also have jockeys that can't really see as well because the horse heads are so big. They're impeded about where they're going to. So, yeah, it's deliberately chaotic. And people just are laughing pretty much as soon as they've started playing. It's just silly, really. Yeah.
I think that's
It's a silly game.
Yeah, the like games with kids, or with especially with younger kids who, the rules might not actually matter too much.
Yeah.
You know, or the difference between play and play in a game, in a set game with defined rules and structure, and being able to be flexible with that, or not worry if a game that you've planned devolves. As long as people are having fun, and that's kind of, especially with kids, there are a few games that weren't necessarily designed for kids, but kids wanted to play because it was fun. So, but being able to be flexible enough to not worry if they're not quite doing it in the right way or how you planned, but they're really getting the enjoyment out of it. So, that's kind of an interesting thing with thinking about stuff for younger people, eh?
I think what's interesting is that children often feel like whether they're thinking about this deliberately or not, they feel like they've got more license to experiment with a game, whereas in adults are much more concerned with following the rules and get much more upset if people break the rules as well. So the rules become a much bigger deal when you're a little bit older.
Because there was the pirate ship game where people wore cardboard ships around them. And that had quite a bit of rules in it. Yeah,
and that was designed for adults. And because we kind of skewed towards, we want to do stuff for grown-ups, we want to bring grown-ups playing games. So that was designed for adults, and we ran it 3 times. So there was a game where each player had a big cardboard ship strapped onto them with a little platform with their holds where they can carry goods and they got money. And there's different islands scattered around the area, and it's a trading game. So you're buying and selling goods, and then you can upgrade your ship so you go faster, and you can buy cannons and do special little missions. And so the first game, kids were kind of going, "Oh, what's this?" Because it's these big ships and it looks really fun. And I was kind of saying, this one's for grown-ups, but is your mum or dad around? And so, which was quite cool because some of the kids. So like when got their parents, and they put on the parents from the ships, but the kids were helping them throughout the game. So that went really. So 3 games. So the first game was all adults. Second game, there was this group of girls who really wanted to play. So I was like, okay, jump on, we'll just test it out. And also, as an aside, this festival we wanted to try stuff out. So when the game doesn't need to be perfect. We want to see how it works. So the second game we played, or the ship game. There were half kids and half adults playing, and the kids because as I said, it's a trading game, but the kids weren't really interested in trading, and so they ended up getting a little mission which is free, and if you do the mission, which might be going to this island and singing happy birthday to the trader, they'll get 3 money, right? And then there's another island where they can buy cannonballs for 1 money each. So they'd do these missions, get some money, go and buy some cannonballs, and then just have a pirate fight. Then run out of money, got nothing, go to another mission, which is free, get some more money. And so this little sub game, because the rules of the game was, after at the end of the game, whoever's got the most money wins. And so in that game, the kids who were playing ended up with 1 or 2 points, whereas I think the winner of the game had 150 points. But it was cool, and the kids had their own little mini game going on, and had fun with it. And where the grown-ups or the real kind of players in a way did their own thing, but still had a fun time, I think. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, unexpected approaches that kids who are more into the play and less the target of the game, or where the rules don't matter so much, create their own little sub games and have fun with in the environment.
And how much opportunity to play test all those scenarios did you actually have before just going for it? Sort of be like, oh, let's see what happens.
We had two or three. We had three play test sessions with the designers, but that was with a group of volunteers, so friends and family of ours. So kind of a select group. But we didn't. Some of the games like the horse racing game and a bee game, which had play tested before with kids.
Yeah.
So we didn't necessarily play test the games that were designed for adults with kids. But we did have 2 or 3 sessions of play testing to help refine in the space as well, to help refine what we were going to do on the day.
I never actually fully play tested my autograph of the game. So I play tested the critical part, which was people talking to these celebrities trying to get the autographs. We did a test run of that. We never actually tested making the celebrities hide throughout the whole park and making people go and find them. And obviously it doesn't work when there's not a crowd anyway, and if you know who they are. So I guess you can't really play test it with your friends.
Yeah.
And so I had a part of the game where if you offended a celebrity, they would refuse to talk to you, and you had to come back to the start of the game and get a disguise and put it on.
Right.
Like sort of silly sunglasses and hats and things. And in practice, nobody wanted to do that. And I think it's because the scale of this is you may have walked 2 minutes to get to a celebrity, and you don't want to walk 2 minutes back to the stars.
So did you have that on the day?
So I had a pile of costumes and things, but nobody used them.
Right. Okay.
So it may have been that I didn't sell them well enough.
Or maybe no one offended the celebrity.
No one offended the celebrities, so the celebrities were too nice. But it was just interesting that one portion of the game that never got tested didn't work.
And it's
I guess not surprising.
Yeah, I think because part of the sort of definition of these types of games are they sort of bigger scale, large group games, which makes it hard to play test. If you've got a game, it needs 40 people.
Yeah.
You need to get 40 people together, and if it's 40 people in a public space with people who aren't playing, how do you test that? And then so that's one of the biggest challenges really, is getting a group of playtesters, big enough group of playtesters together to try stuff out. And also the nature of playtesting is, if you can play it, 2 or 3 times in a row, straight away, making changes in between, that's, you get the most benefit out of that. So getting people, and then if it's like an hour game, how do you get 40 people to play test an hour game 3 times in a row? So that's one of the biggest challenges, I think. And also the biggest challenges around scaling up, because there's interest in making bigger, more expansive, more engaging games. Well, for me anyway. And so how to bring these people together and create things without buying everybody a beer, sort of
bribing people. Yeah.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's pretty fun, and there are we had volunteers who, when we sent out a call for designers or volunteers, there were some who weren't designers, but were just keen to help out and play and try stuff out. So they kind of not sort of professional playtesters, but that was their kind of
Their role.
their role. So, which is really cool. Really needed for this type of thing.
Yeah. And for the public, like, what has been the feedback so far? Did you guys get any feedback, or people?
Yeah, we got a little bit.
cheering
People were really positive generally, and I think quite excited to find something that they hadn't seen before as well. So for lots of people, what's really interesting is being able to actively participate. So they're not just watching something or being passive; they're being quite active in whatever way that they suits them. So we were generally positive. The one thing that people didn't like was having to wait to play games. So people wanted to start playing straight away, especially with the ones that were quite visually appealing. They wanted to just jump in.
Yeah, lots of props and stuff.
Yeah.
But the environment was supportive of spectatorship as well. Like, it was a
Absolutely.
little bit of a hill, grass,
Yeah.
maybe a bit of shade, and people were just like chilling out, and
Yeah.
watching stuff happen.
Yeah, we wanted to, though we, on a very small scale, so we called it a festival of play, so to start creating that little sort of festival environment. So even if you went playing a game, you can hang out and watch what's happening, and being in that, even as we wanted to create that playful environment, so maybe more and more having little mini things happening. So if the big sort of bigger scale games are being played, there's always something for people to engage in and have fun with and interact with. We did have a bit of interest from the people having doing sort of installations, so interactive installation, type of stuff that people can play with. It's not necessarily a game, but it's sort of a playful experience.
Just stuff there that can sort of play itself
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
So sort of a mix. But people, we've had some comments through, people just wandered past, and we're very positive about what was happening, and it's big. It's I think there's the numbers of people that we got were pretty much just right for what we had on offer. Yeah,
More than you were expecting.
I think there were probably more families and kids than we were expecting, but it was, but in a way that was to be expected.
Right,
Yeah.
But what I liked the way that we could draw parents in. Because I think a lot of parents came down, to take their kids down so their kids could play. But we were like, no, hang on a minute, you guys can play too,
Yeah.
So and people were pretty receptive to that.
So for the horse game, for example, started off being all children, and then by I think the 10th time round, it was mostly adults who were playing with their children or just had been watching for a long time and wanted to have a go. So, and I think that was common across a lot of the games, that the children would entice the adults to come and play.
Yeah.
Before the festival, we had a little chat about accessibility and whether we'd be able to make games that people in wheelchairs, for example, could play. On the actual day, the most common sort of constraint was people with pushchairs and babies or small children.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we never expected, never talked about. But I'd say next time we'll try and have a few games that you can play while pushing a baby around.
That's right. Yeah, races. Baby racing. Work it out. Yeah.
No incidents,
Yeah, no.
accidents, anything.
No.
But you guys were prepared.
Oh,
Everything.
it's all on top of it, yeah.
Had a booth with all the ushers and volunteers and stuff.
We had to do a health and safety plan beforehand, so
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine they'd
Yeah.
allow you to do anything without it.
yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool actually. The Waterfront Auckland ones who sort of manage the space, and they, we're allowed to draw chalk everywhere and put signs up and heaps of stuff. So yeah, really receptive to and open to what what we could and couldn't do. There wasn't much we couldn't do, really.
No.
So it might push the boundaries a bit next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are parallels I sort of, yeah, I suppose can draw with these type of games, as well as, say, when we were exhibiting our game at PAX, there was a lot of people that come in, just strangers, and
Yeah.
there's a sort of through play, there's a kind of bonding experience, and I'd imagine there's a lot of that happening in the street games as well.
Yeah, totally.
Especially like kids and their parents, but also like just different people coming away with some form of
Yeah, absolutely.
gratification of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you got if you're bringing people together into teams, strangers into teams, and suddenly they're having to work together, in this sort of fun environment. So that's what I found with this big B game, which are so I had three different teams, and that's one we could play with adults and kids. So getting the parents to be the worker bees and the kids are the forager bees. So all the parents, together in these teams working together. So that was quite cool, and just seeing them, sort of interact and afterwards, sort of chatting, and so that's quite fun. And even all the kids, who don't know each other are all in the same team, and they're all egging each other on, and making plans, and I'll get the yellow ones this time, and getting ready into it. So totally bringing people together like that. And having that shared experience was really cool.
Yeah, I suppose, like, what are the plans for next year? Like bigger, a different space, or are you going to use the same strip?
Not sure.
Don't know if we have the same space. It's a pretty cool space.
Yeah.
And it does work for that that type of style of outside games. I think one of the tricky things is the definition of these types of games and the stuff that we want to do, because it's very broad, and in this case there are games that are very sort of not space specific, and not too diverse, but there's other games that can be played across a city block, or all through the streets, and that kind of scale of games, which should be fun to start exploring. So are we do we want to restrain ourselves to one?
We did talk a little bit also about maybe doing something in the evening to try and get a more adult crowd for some of the games, and that way we can run more games that are more sophisticated, that break down a bit when too many children play them.
Yeah.
So I imagine, Bronwyn was saying some people split their games festival into was that right, a day event and an evening event?
Yeah, so similar games festivals in other countries, they have a day and an evening, and for those different audiences as well, and different games, or sometimes the same games, but just with different people playing them. So we might look at doing that for next time. I'm also really keen to have games that incorporate different forms of technology in them for next year as well. So we had lots of games with lots of cardboard this year, which is great, but also I'd really like to see games using cameras and Kinects and, just whatever people might want to use. Because I think that's also really cool to explore what's possible with those, with that as well.
And using technology in different ways. Because partly the intention of doing this first one was to kind of put our hands up and say, and see who else we could get, draw out of the woodwork. So because it kind of started as the three of us, but so for this one there's 7 designers with games, and then there are other designers who are keen, interested. So we're looking to have a monthly sort of playtesting get together. So 1 month inside sort of pub space, evening sort of session inside for games that might suit large groups of people sitting down, or games that are run in rooms in the house, And then next month, outside, either running around the city type games or in a park, sort of larger outside big scale games. Because of course playtesting is such a huge thing in design. So getting a monthly regular group together of designers and playtesters and people who are interested in and keeping that pretty open, so everyone can wander along, to build up, to start gathering, getting people interested in games, getting people who might not necessarily know what these types of large scale games are all about, getting a bit of a taste for it, and also starting to build up ideas for games and testing out games that we can run next year. So that's going to be a regular thing that we're going to get up and running.
Is there already a group set up for that? Or
there will be this week.
So people can log in and
so we've got from this festival, the Facebook group page that we've put up, we've got over 150 people, I think, so which is really nice, size of people to kick off sharing stuff with. So that will be shared through that. Just creating events every month. So that'll be up and running.
Cool.
Pretty soon. And we did do it in the past, which worked quite well, a little while ago. So we sort of got something to base it on. And then something, hopefully a sort of midwinter type event. One of the things we wanted to do at this festival was do something in the evening when it was dark, but of course it's the middle of summer, so it got dark quite late. So we weren't quite able to do that, but it'd be quite fun to do something outside in the dark type thing. So that will be the next big thing we do, hopefully, maybe.
Cool. And are you guys involved in any sort of other game related projects, events, and all that kind of stuff? I know Matt, you're
so I do Pop-Up Arcade, which is a similar sort of idea, but mainly for video games, where we take locally made, generally low budget sort of DIY video games and show them at events around the city. So we will have a little arcade set up in the city central library in some month. April, I think.
Okay.
So that's one thing coming up.
This happens on the first Thursdays? Or...
we do events at the first Thursdays event on K Road as well.
Okay. Is that it's a separate thing from the library?
Yeah.
I do board game design stuff, a little bit on the side. But I also have a business that's around creativity, well-being, and play. So with my part of it being the play and sort of game integration, so working with businesses, using games and play within business environments to to kind of sort of tackle business issues, but also sort of team building, induction type stuff, doing activations. So in this business environment, designing games, which is really fun.
So Wild Streets would have been quite a good insight into that side of things as well.
So using that as a vehicle to explore and try out different things, and it's all about engagement, through play, and the learning that can come out of that. So that's sort of my kind of focus, but also starting to explore some even bigger scale kind of mega game type stuff that we can play. So that's going to be the focus through the year, some bigger scale stuff.
Cool.
I'm going to start work very soon on a theatre show that's based around a game concept, I guess. So that's one of my next projects as well. But that's I don't have any other game involvement, really.
It's like a show?
So it'll be a theatre show for children and families, to go to together, and the idea is that you are probably a corporate spy and you're trying to find out some information. So it's about
So interactive theatre.
Yeah.
A little bit.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, maybe just as a last thing, you put a link up to the Facebook page, and we'll start quite shortly creating events for this monthly get together. So anyone who's interested in having a play, or I've got ideas for games too, and also want a forum to work on ideas. That's what we're all about. So yeah. So check that out.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to be a pro game designer to come along and test out your game. So we really want anyone who even has just a little germ of an idea to come along. Feel free that they can come along and try it out and see what happens.
Plus the monthly Wednesday meetups for the game dev community is probably a good place to do a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good time.
He's our ambassador. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been standing up
Yeah.
a few times now. But sweet, thanks guys for
Thank
coming.
you.
And
Cheers.
hope to see it next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Sweet.